Hello students, welcome you all to Manula classes. This is Ratnakar sir, your quants and reasoning mentor, and in this video we are going to discuss that how you should achieve all India rank within 100 in the examinations like CLAT and AILET. Okay, so we'll discuss about topic by topic, section by section, but the broader outlook in this video we will discuss the actual implications and the actual methods that you should keep in mind before you aim for such a rank. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss that. Welcome you all to our channel. Say suppose you are going to appear for this CLAT examination, maybe in the upcoming June or maybe in December or maybe next year. Okay, I'm keeping a broader time frame for the sake of general discussion. Say you're not so good in English, or you're not so good in math, or maybe you're good in some topics, or in some topics you are average. Okay, but you want to achieve your dream college, you want to go to your dream university for pursuing CLAT or for pursuing the law degree for which you are aiming. Okay, then what you should do, your natural thinking, your natural process will be to get a very good rank. Say you get a rank between 1 to 100. Okay, that will actually ensure that you are getting one of the top colleges in the country for your undergraduate degree, isn't it? But aiming within 100 is not so easy. Why? Simply because so many competitors are there, so many students are going to compete for those seats, and even a difference of 1 or 0.5 marks can change your college actually, because there will be 10 to 20 ranks sitting within a gap of 1 to 2 marks, isn't it? So in this competitive environment, what you should totally focus upon, okay, to get a good rank in this CLAT exam. See, first of all, before even starting the preparation, you should set your mentality, because that is most important thing. Okay, see, if you want to get a rank, or if you want to get in one of the top colleges in India or wherever you want, then first you have to set your mentality. Okay, you have to set your correct mentality that I am actually aiming for this thing. Only then the subsequent thing follows. What do we mean by the subsequent thing follows? Means if you want to be in top 100, then you cannot waste your time at all, isn't it? Then it cannot happen that you are going to be okay with some subjects and good in other subjects. You have to be very good in some topics, and you have to be more than average or good in the remaining topics. Okay, if you see the CLAT examination or any other law entrance examination, there are generally 5 sections, isn't it? English, then legal aptitude, or you can say LA section, then there's come GK section, okay, which consists of current affairs also. Then comes critical reasoning or analytical reasoning, depending upon the exam you are focusing upon, CLAT or AILET. And then comes the math section, which is very less, but still fetches 15 marks in CLAT examination, isn't it? So suppose you are not so good in maths, you are not so good in reasoning, or maybe any other subject, then what are you going to do? You have to work hard in those subjects. If some subject or a particular seems difficult to you, it doesn't mean that it should be left upon, because see, you remember the first statement, you have to set the correct mentality. Actually you have decided, isn't it? You have decided that you have to be in rank 1. So how anyone can be more concerned about this other than you, isn't it? None of your teachers, none of your parents. I'm not saying they are not supportive, I'm not saying that they are not conscious that you should take appropriate guidance and time to regularize yourself. But remember, it was always and always, from the very first day onwards, your choice, isn't it? Whether you want to be in top 100 or not. So if you want to be in top 100 and you think like an average mediocre, that's not gonna match. isn't it? You have to think beyond it. You have to think out of the box. You have to put every bit of effort that you should be putting to get in top 100. That means you will totally stop asking stupid questions in class, maybe in your school, maybe from wherever you are getting. Maybe some topics are not so familiar to you. Then in those topics you can do your some own research. You can type those topics on Google and read the blogs that various people have been writing, and there's so much of content available in today's era that it is totally unacceptable if a student says that he or she couldn't get a good rank because of what you say lack of resources, isn't it? Even if you type anything on YouTube related to any topic of legal, math, English, or anything, there are so many videos that you can just go and watch a new video every day, isn't it? So the actual thing becomes is your practice. Your mindset is the key that you should consider before you are aiming for top 100 examination. Next, we are here for guidance. Okay, now come to more relevant topics. First thing is, first come first, you have to follow a study plan. See, the habit, the idea of habit is very important for any type of preparation. Why? Because when you form a habit of something, say reading newspapers, reading current affairs, or practicing math, or practicing reasoning passages, or practicing English and remembering vocabs, or practicing and reading some sections in legal, whatever you are making a habit, less and less energy is going to be invested every day in performing it, and that is actually the key. Okay, preparation for you should not look like a roller work or a devastating work that you are taking so much stress. Oh, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. It's not about that. It's about managing your stress, your studies very comfortably in your time. Okay, so for that you have to follow a strict but a routine study plan. Okay, don't make unusual assumption that today you are going to read 4 chapters, 5 chapters a day. That's not gonna happen. If you have not done it preemptively early, that's not in general going to happen. Make a reasonable study plan. Okay, that you are going to complete 1 or 2 chapters in a 2 or 3 days, so on, and try to stick with it. Try to fix your timing. Try to fix your time of wake up in the morning, your time when you go to eat, your time when you go to sleep, your actual time when you are allotting to different subjects. You must be planning the time that you are going to give to your school curriculum, because that is also an important part for those who are appearing for class 12 examination, and this type of things. Okay, so actual plan is very important. A routine discipline should be met up, and if you are taking 2 to 3 days, even 1 week, to strike at an actual plan, it's no problem at all, isn't it? Because you have 52 weeks in total for a year course, or at least not Mandar is 25 to 26 weeks, even if you go for a half year plan. Okay, so if the first week you are spending in totally planning the upcoming 25 weeks, I think it's a good decision. Okay, now see the next point is always, it is always advisable to study smart than study hard. What do I mean by study smart? I have seen a lot of students, they are preparing for this type of examinations. They have not even once gone through the previous year's paper. Now see, for the first time in your life, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe, for many of you this will happen. For the first time in your life after class 12, or when you are appearing in class 12, you are going to sit for an all India competition, isn't it? I think 90% of people like us usually do that. For the first time after 12th, we actually sit for an all India competition. Till then, it was a competition among our school, among our teammates, among our, you can say, class of 60, 70, maybe 80 students. maybe you are a very good student, so you are topping the state also, but it was limited to a state, a school, or your class, isn't it? So for the first time you are going to compete not in a class of 60 students, not in a school of 3000 students, not in a state of some 30,000 or 40,000 students, but in lakhs and lakhs of students from across all the states, isn't it? And that brings actually the competition and the nervousness and anxiety that follows. So to monitor that, to not to get anxious, is a very important thing. And for that you should study smart, not study hard. Study smart, I mean you must develop a knack to solve passages, because see, 90% of your paper is passages. So if you are not good with passages, if you are not friendly with the passages, by the word friendly I mean you should develop a knack and a habit to read those passages and get the best out of it in just a matter of say 5 to 6 minutes, not more than that, because in actual exam you will get actually less time than that, isn't it? If you have seen the paper of 2021, you will actually see the paper is of 42 to 43 pages, let us say 40 pages, 40 effective pages, and you have to solve it in 120 minutes. So 120 minutes divided by 40 pages is 3 page per minute, and you are not only reading a sort of what you can say comprehension or dictation, but actually you have to understand those passages to actually being able to answer those questions, isn't it? So if you not develop the knack of reading, then it's going to be very difficult for you to CLAT. Okay. Now let's come to next topic, current affairs. I have seen many students who just choose to ignore this important part. Remember, you are in a competition, so every disadvantage is an advantage, or rather I can say every disadvantage to every other fellow student can be made as, or can be used as your advantage. Okay, for most of the students current affairs is a problem, and let me assure you, current affairs is not a problem for you only. Current affairs is problem for every other you can say national level exam in which current affairs are coming, be it this exam or be it any exam, starting from you can say uh, MAT exam, CAT exam, and even you can say IAS, UPSC, but that's a different topic altogether. Forget about that. And current affairs, we are focusing on current affairs. See, almost 35 to 40 questions are going to come from this section. There will be passages, but the passages will not be so helpful. You already know when you see the paper of 2021, isn't it? So there is no other substitute. You have to be good at current affairs. I've already told that before before even thinking about, or before ever entertaining the thought that you should get a rank within 100, you should be very clear with your mental conscious mind that it was always and always your decision to get into 100. Nobody forced you, nobody bothered, isn't it? It should be and it must be your decision. Okay, so current affairs is important. Also some portions of static GK you must be able to digest and conquer before actually writing the examination. Okay, so to score good marks in this section, you should definitely cover this section for sports, science, literature, and also arts section. Now see, it is not hard and fast. If you develop the habit of reading newspapers, you don't have to be Google, isn't it? You just have to see what current news or what current burning issues are going on around in newspapers or in media. Okay, not only newspapers, I will also suggest you can watch TV channels also, in which the debates are occurring, in which some sort of issues are being discussed. That also gives you a lot of insight. Okay, and other than that, we would highly recommend you to read newspapers, because that is a source of very good information and very good editorials, and ultimately you have to read passages based on those editorials, isn't it? So it's a very good habit if you start developing that from the very first month of your preparation. Okay. Last topic, and the most neglected one is the mock test. Many institutes and many students give mock test, but the idea of actually giving mock test and attaining the mock test is different, isn't it? When you give mock test, you just give a mock test. It's just a test. It's not going to affect your overall career. But if you attend a mock test with actual seriousness and what you can say, with actual feeling that yes, this is my final exam, then thing changes. See, when you attend the first mock test, I am not saying for all the students, but most of the students, when they give their first mock test, it is usually seen that they are not even being able to read the whole paper. See, it's not your only issue, isn't it? It's not your alone issue. Many students will be there who will face the same issue that you are facing, isn't it? But what you have to do, you have to practice, practice, and practice more, and you have to take these mock tests very, very, very seriously. That means after giving mock test, you should make a routine to follow, to check manually whether you are wrong on those questions, whether you are right or wrong, and how much actual time you are taking in solving those questions. That equations come into picture when you sit for the actual mock test. Okay, so that you should keep a mind. You should not take more than 120 minutes. A mock test should reflect a clear picture, a clear mirror of the actual test that you are going to attempt, isn't it? So you should take mock seriously. Okay, you should work on your weak areas. Suppose in some sections you are not scoring good, so you should work on those areas, isn't it? There is no other way actually to determine that how good you are or how bad you are in those areas. Okay, many students do what, they start giving mocks very, very, very late in their preparation scenario, and that is actually devastating, because even if you know that you are pretty weak in particular section, you don't have enough time to improve that in your section. So nevertheless, you should start giving mocks at least 3 to 4 months before the actual exam, and prepare yourself thoroughly for this exam. Okay, so thank you so much for all your attention. I'm sure that you are enjoying this video, and if any question that you have to ask, you can just ask it in the comment box below. Thank you so much.